So, hi guys, hope you're okay. I'm going to be doing my makeup. It's not a tutorial as such, it's just showing you how I do my, and it's not an everyday makeup, but it's kind of like a special occasion for the day kind of makeup. So to start, I'm going to be applying my Milani foundation, which is in color 2, and the name is Spice Almond. So I'm just going to be kind of blending that into the skin, making sure as well that it's blended all around my neck, the sides, down below my ears. We just want to really blend that into our skin. I see a lot of women that leave out around there and it's quite obvious that they've got foundation on. So I'm going to be going in with my powder, which is MAC Studio Fix powder, and that's in color NC50, and that's setting the foundation. You want to make sure that every time you apply a cream or a fluid to your skin, you want to make sure that you set it with a powder. Must. I'm taking my LA Girl Pro Concealer in color Warm Sand, which is just to highlight under my eyes, but I think it's a bit too light to highlight under my eyes, so I'm just gonna kind of work with it because it's all I had at hand at the time. So I'm just kind of using my Techniques brush and just kind of blending that into the skin, giving it a even finish, making sure that you get into the creases as well. I have creases under my eyes, so I'm then going to be setting it with a Rimmel powder, which is one that is really light. It's very light for my skin tone, but I'm just using that as my setting powder underneath the eyes. And then I'm going to be taking my brush and just kind of blending that out. So I'm using a spoolie, which is a disposable one, brush the eyebrows to shape them, and then I'll be taking my pencil, which is I think it's a sleek, or it might be, no, it's not a sleek, it's a I don't know, I can't remember which one it is, but I'll list it below. But I'm just kind of drawing my eyebrows on, making them darker, making sure that the shape is accurate as well. I'm not using the pencil to kind of shape the eyebrows. I'm using it to draw the outline, and then I'm using my spoolie, my mascara wand, then to kind of blend that into my eyebrows, into the hairs, rather than drawing it on, and there's no form of blending. I didn't want a harsh look, I wanted a blended, natural kind of look. So that's what I'm doing on both eyebrows. I'm just kind of going back and forth between the mascara wand and the pencil, and just filling out any areas that need filling, and also kind of blending that into the hairs as well. On this part, I do apologize, my camera wasn't recording, so I went ahead and done my highlight underneath my brow and it wasn't recording, so I just went over it again just to show you what I do. And then I went over the top. I didn't do the top, luckily, so I'm here doing the top now, and that's using a concealer, which is MAC concealer in NC45, which is a shade lighter than my skin tone, and I'm just using that to highlight my brows, and that's obviously going under and above my brows. And then I just take a brush and just kind of blend that out. You might find that you have to go back and forth between the as I'm doing there, between lining your brows and between your spoolie, kind of going back and forth, making sure that you get the desired look, basically. So you just kind of seeing what needs filling in, what needs blending out. You just kind of eyeball it and see where you need to kind of correct. So that's what I'm doing. My eyebrows are I say but every eyebrow, it's the most important feature on your face, because that frames your face. So if your eyebrows are not, and they don't have to be exactly the same, because our eyebrows are not exactly the same. They are, as I heard somebody used to say, they're not twins, they're sisters. So they don't need to look identical, but you do want them to have a form, meaning you do want them to have a similar shape and for them to frame your face properly, basically. So now I'm using my Urban Decay eye primer, and I'm just using a brush. I don't know why I used a brush. I don't normally use a brush. I think I got a bit too technical there, but I'm using a brush to kind of apply that, but then I go back in using my fingers. Your fingers, I think, is better when you're applying the primer because it warms up the primer as it's going onto your skin, and it's giving the product onto your skin a more even finish. So, you know, it isn't bad to use your fingers. And I go back and kind of blend out in between my eyebrows because I think I forgot to do that. So now I'm using my MAC palette, which is in Warm Neutral, fantastic palette, and I'm using the colour Amber Lights in the centre of my eyes, and I'm just going over my eyes 3/4 of the way, and I'm just patting that on. I'm just literally loading my brush and packing that colour onto my eyelids and just making sure that I get a bold application of colour. And then I'm going in with my darker colour, and that is in colour Dark Brew, lovely kind of wine colour, and I'm just using that on the outer part of my eyelids, and again I'm just packing it on. I'm not doing anything, no sweeping motions, just literally packing it on, dabbing it on with the brush. And then afterwards you find that I kind of sweep it into the crease, and that's just to blend it upwards. But I'd be using another brush to do that. But the main priority at this point is just to get that colour onto the eyelid. So now I go into my Saddle, which is my transition colour. Fantastic transition colour for my skin tone, and that's just to help the transition between the highlight of my eyebrows into the colour on my eyelids, to make it subtle and blended. So I'm trying to achieve a very blended look here. So I'm just kind of using a crease brush, and I'm applying that with the crease brush only so that I can get a good application of it, and then I go and use my MAC blending brush and blend it all into the eyes. So I go back to my Amber Lights and reapply that to my lid. You'll find that when you're blending, you'll start to lose the boldness of the colour below or anywhere else. You'll start to lose the colours, the definition of the colours, so you have to keep going back and applying the different colours that you've used just to kind of make sure that they are bold. So I'm going in with my Sleek palette, and I'm using the black, and I'm making sure that I just use that crease brush and get right into the crease of the socket of my eyes, into the crease, and I'm just going to blend that out using my MAC blending brush. Fantastic technique for learning how to do the smoky eye. Use a crease brush and then make sure that you use a blending brush and just blend that out. And keep blending, blending, blending. Just keep blending until you can see that it looks nice and blended. And if you're not sure, keep blending some more. And I'm just going over that and just making sure that it looks even on both sides, that it looks blended and there's no harsh lines. You really want to make sure that there's no harsh lines and that you can't tell where the colours meet. So I'm going in with my LA Girl Pro Concealer again, and I'm just highlighting the forehead, down the centre of the nose, went right off centre there, and the corners of my eyes, the outer corners of my eyes, and just to clean up that eyeshadow so it looks defined, gives a sharp kind of finish. And I'm just blending that out, blending it down my nose. I've made a massive mistake down the bridge of my nose, so I've got to do a lot of cleaning up when it comes to using my contouring colour, but not to worry, we'll get to that. So I am just now taking my Rimmel powder, and I'm using my contour brush, and I'm just setting that concealer. Then I go in with my foundation NC50, and I just kind of work that down the sides of my nose and all around my head, just so I can get that concealer to be blended out into my natural skin colour, which would be the NC50. So I'm just kind of blending everything together. So take my black eyeliner and just line my eyes. I love using these eyeliners. It's a gel, so it's not one that you have to press down on your eyes really hard just to get a bit of colour out. It's quite smooth, and I'm just kind of blending that, going as close to my eyelashes as possible, and then lining the bottom also as well, back and forth. You do want to take your time doing that, you don't want to poke yourself in the eye as well. So I'm going in with my contour palette, and I'm using the darker shade, and I am going to contour my nose. So I'm just drawing some tram lines down my nose. I keep saying to my customers, do not let me see your contouring down your nose looking like tram lines, because it looks awful. You need to make sure that you blend that bad boy out. So, and keep checking, because the light, can you see when I hold my hands up to my face, blocking out the light, it gives you a different look. It's important that you try and get as much natural light as possible, so that you can see how it looks in the day. And then I'm just going back over my nose with my NC50 powder. This is a bronzer that I bought from MAC. Oh, I absolutely love it. I saw it and I was like, oh, gotta get it. The packaging is amazing as well. Look at those colours. It really makes you think of summertime. I think it was something to do with their summer collection. Had to buy it. So that's just going over the parts of my face that I wanted to kind of give a bit of shine to. So now I'm using my sleek blusher in colour I Don't Know, and I'm just kind of blushing my cheeks. Here I'm going in with my lip pencil. Do forgive me, I had to kind of open it to get the last bit out. So I'm just lining my lips. Rub that in, smudge it in, and then I'm using my Rimmel lipstick in a colour nude, and just kind of blend that in so that the lip liner is blended with your lipstick, and it looks like it all flows. I'm using a crap mascara. I don't like this mascara. It's one from eBay. I mean, I do like it, but I don't like mascara anyway in general. So, you know, yeah. And that's me done. So again, I'm looking in the daylight, and as you can see, my face does look a little bit lighter than my chest. But as the day goes on, you'll find that your foundation starts to oxidize and it turns a bit dark. It starts to blend in with your skin tone. So there's the pictures. Thank you all for watching, and stay tuned for some more. Please rate, comment, and most of all, subscribe to my channel. See you all soon.